Welcome back to our special Trump on Trial, New York versus defendant Donald Trump. We are joined by former U.S. Attorney Joyce Vance and Morgan State University Professor Jason Johnson, both analysts for us. Joyce, I went through some of what we got out of this opening week. I think it's fair to say if you're on the jury, it feels like the DA is up. They're in the lead. I was careful to say it doesn't mean we know the outcome. What do you think they achieved in this first week, and what do they have to worry about?
Sure, it's a great question. You know, if you're the prosecution and you're not up after your first witness, you're in big trouble, right? But the prosecution really did start off, I think, with an unexpected bang. No one knew what to expect out of David Pecker. We learned that he had been cooperating with prosecutors, and he brought Trump straight into the essential conspiracy, the election fraud conspiracy, which is necessary to turn the misdemeanor that's charged here into a felony. Important testimony, he stood up pretty well on testimony and on cross-examination. They did not seem to come after him with a lot. They tried to pick away at his credibility, question some of the key pieces of evidence he came, but he was thoroughly rehabilitated on redirect examination. Prosecution has to be feeling good.
Jason, I don't want to be unkind to the defendant, and he's legally presumed innocent. But his family is not there. The jury can notice that. These are his friends and allies. Some of them have gone so far, they're like Michael Cohen, who's so angry at Trump that it might affect his credibility. Some, as I emphasize, are like Mr. Pecker, who say, yeah, friendly. I mean, the guy's a liar, but we're friendly. I mean, he may have committed campaign crimes. The jury will judge, but that's what I thought we did, but we're friendly. And he's got a whole backstory of, shall we say, really complicated allegations, but we're friendly. If these are the views of his friends, how does that hurt him both in not only the jury, but in the court of public opinion?
Well, this is the thing, Ari. That's why this is such a bad week. Because we can go through all the sort of legalese and jargon, but really the average person is picking up every fifth word. And what they're picking up are things like adult film star, payoff, family isn't there, and falling asleep during the trial. So the outside world is like, okay, this doesn't look good. He doesn't sound alert. We're not seeing anything that gives us the opportunity to think, oh my gosh, Trump is alert. He's paying attention to this. And, you know, look, it's the old song, friends, how many of us have them, right? But if you heard someone say, this room was filled with people who are supporting Donald Trump, and they leave the room every day, and Melania is there and everything else like that, it gives the outside public the impression, well, these people believe in him, right? So even if he's guilty, you know what? His family is still with him. So the fact that he doesn't have the people who are down with him, that's what the public is picking up, and definitely the jury sees that.
Are you going to tell Joyce the reference you made?
I think she knows that one. That's a pretty classic song.
I don't think she does, and no offense.
I don't know. I don't know.
Go ahead.
This is what I'm going to do, Joyce. I'm going to let you marinate on this one. This is a classic. I'm going to let you marinate. Well, I'll tell you at the end.
Oh, I love that. Look at that. Now, in TV, they call that a deep tease. It's like when we say, oh, and Joyce is coming back for Boris Epstein breakdown later, that's like a tease. So we'll come back to that.
Yes, we'll.
For the public, we showed this earlier in the week, again, if we take it all in, front pages in states red and blue. To say nothing of around the world where they don't have a vote, but it's ricocheting. What do you think about the fact that it does take a level 10, a Richter scale? The Supreme Court had to say, oh my God, this is such a big deal. It's a big deal, and it's happening, to remind people of what it is like if Donald Trump is in the center, whether he's in power or the center of the story. People may have forgotten what 2019, 2018, 2017 was like. Does that hurt him, just the feeling of what this is like?
Well, it adds up, Ari, because after a while, people start thinking, well, when is this guy not in court, right? Like, we're thinking he's in court for documents, he's in court for an affair, is he going to be gone till November? Like, everybody thinks he's going to be in trial the whole time, and that's what makes people worried. But here's the other thing. We talked about this before. I don't carry too much weight in polls, anything this early. But what I can say is this: the number of Americans who have said that if Donald Trump is convicted of anything, that it will affect their vote has stayed steady at like 23 to 25%. So there is a risk here. This is not a situation where just Trump supporters are going to say, you know what, no matter what happens, and Democrats will say, no matter what. There is a quarter of the population, and it tends to be independents, that if he is convicted in something like this, they will say, you know, I just don't think I can do it for this guy. And that is a real consequence of this trial.
I appreciate the precision of your mind. I appreciate that you dropped a second reference, Gone Till November, Fuji's Wyclef. I'm reminded of when Wyclef said, we all up in the danger zone. The judge hit the hammer my brother ain't coming home. And that's something he's got to worry about with Trump. Will you now unveil your earlier reference?
No. I'm going to wait. I want this to be teased, and I'm going to have you know this when you come back for your next segment, Joyce.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. She's going to integrate it when she comes back in her.
And here's the thing. People ask sometimes, wait, was this planned? Was this scripted? I didn't know you were going to say it. I didn't know you were going to hold it. So we'll all be in suspense.
Come for the law, stay for the music.
Beautifully put.